Welcome back, everybody. We're live where you live in beautiful Westboro. Dr. Paul is here. This is your first time in Westboro?
My first time in Westboro. Beautiful area.
Nice, eh?
Really nice.
Gorgeous
really nice.
part of the city.
It really is.
Good to have you along, because we were in your neck of the woods not so long ago.
Yeah,
down in Cornwall area. We're going to talk about salt and some programs you got going on.
Well, we got a program with the Champlain Cardiovascular Prevention Network. People must have heard this ad on the radio or on TV. Give your head a shake.
Yeah.
Basically, before you shake the salt shaker, shake your head and think about it. And the reason we're doing that is because salt is kind of become the next fad, if you like, in a bad way. In terms of it being related to heart disease and to high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And we know that the majority of people, if you look at the Champlain area, the majority of people, probably 60 to 80% of the people, eat too much salt. In other words, yeah, double than what they should be taking.
You've taken a look at that area in particular.
Oh, yes.
Why is that? Have you figured out why?
Yes, we have. Actually, it's not because they're too liberal with a salt shaker. It's because the processed foods that are out there contain a lot of salt, a lot of hidden salt. So if you look at somebody's daily intake of salt, about 80%, 77% actually, comes from food that's already processed. So stuff that you don't even check before.
Yeah.
So for example, what you need in a day, we say, is about 2,000 milligrams. Between 1,500 and 2,000 milligrams, a bit less than a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
That's what you need, okay? Picture this, a glass of tomato juice has about 1,000 milligrams. All right, so you drink 2 of those a day, and you're done for the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Soups, frozen, a lot of preservatives, those type of things. So you need to read the labels.
Yes, read the labels, because a lot of processed foods, that's the way they're preserved in their state, is with salt helps that.
Exactly. So when they're on the shelf, there's something there to preserve them, right?
Yeah.
So it's salt. So typically, and what people say, well, it's not my fault if I buy a soup, there's a lot of salt in there. Yes, and we're working at a larger scale with the manufacturers to try to decrease it, and some soup companies are starting to decrease it.
Well, they even mention it.
Exactly.
Like Campbell's, for instance, had a campaign where
they're one of the first ones.
Salt.
Exactly. So what we're trying to tell people is, okay, sure, be careful with a salt and pepper shaker, obviously. Put more pepper, spice it up. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. Go to giveyourheadashake.ca. You get all kinds of tricks on that. But be careful. We know that. And, just by cutting back, if all the people cut back by less than 1 teaspoon a day of salt, there'd be 30% less problems in terms of high blood pressure and related incidents.
Right.
So, 30 people a day in Canada die of the disease related to high salt intake.
Yeah.
So we can curb that down very easily.
Yeah. All you got to do is, first of all, read the labels. You're right. And there's a lot of reduced salt products out there now.
Yeah.
More and more than we've ever seen before.
That's right.
And when you're, like you say, when you're using that shaker at home, some people get, overabundance of salt in there.
That's right.
Just a little bit less. And you're right. There's so many other spices and things that you can put on your food for flavoring.
Exactly.
Versus salt, right?
That's the whole thing. And just as keep track of it. Know what the limit is. Try to limit yourself to about 1,500. People say 2,300 is the upper limit of milk. So it's a bit less than a teaspoon.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. You can't measure it.
Right.
But keep it in your mind. So if you're eating a soup or something, try to add it up in your mind.
Yeah, and you can also talk to your doctor about your sodium levels and high blood pressure.
Well, the thing is, if you have high blood pressure, your doctor's going to automatically put you on a low sodium diet anyway.
Yeah.
And we know, because if you have a lot of salt in your body, you retain a lot of water, and it brings up your blood pressure, and that's the problem.
Right. Just monitor it. That's all you got to do.
Monitor it and be aware. And
yeah.
Like I said, giveyourheadashake.ca, more information.
Excellent. Dr. Paul's Medical Officer of Health in Eastern Ontario Health Unit. Good to have you here. I'm going to have a Hindenburger, but I'm going to go easy on the salt.
That's right. No added salt.
The Hindenburger is here. Some of the best burgers you'll ever find anywhere on the planet, let alone in Westboro or Hindenburg. We'll be back with that more live where you live right after this.